Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today's webinar series will be focused on a discussion of the full life cycle for grant management for the American Rescue Plan Act, and more specifically detail some of the different challenges of ARPA and present some various software solutions. My name is Dan Martin, and I am the managing principal overseeing the Odysseus Enterprise System. And with me, I have Mr. Tim Bell, who's Managing Director of Technology. Here's the agenda for today's webinar series. We'll provide a brief overview of the American Rescue Plan Act and more specifically talk a little bit more about what we see are some of the different challenges for ARPA for our clients and customers, and what some of those solutions are to address those challenges and issues that they're facing. We'll provide a brief overview of the Odysseus Enterprise System, but more specifically go into a little bit more in detail about the grant management tool module of the OES system and talk a little bit more about how that is serving as a solution for the American Rescue Plan Act. We'll also talk a little bit more about some of the other OES modules and how those are being utilized as well to augment the GMT and address some of the different challenges of ARPA. Then Tim will present a demonstration of the grant management tool and specifically how it's being utilized for ARPA. Obviously, everyone is well aware of the American Rescue Plan Act and the $350 billion in direct aid to state, local governments, and territories. ARPA is providing two tranches of funding, half in 2021, the other half in 2022, to address 5 areas of concern. First, the response to the COVID emergency and to address the economic effects of the event, provide premium pay to essential employees, and provide government services affected by revenue reduction resulting from COVID-19. The fourth is allowing communities to make investments in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. And finally, state and local governments could transfer these funds to private nonprofit groups, public benefit corporations, and others, other units of state and local government. These funds must be obligated by December 31st, 2024, and the period of performance of the ARPA program runs until December 31st, 2026. There are 4 important guiding principles of the ARPA program, and these principles are interwoven throughout the regulatory requirements and guidelines that have been defined by the Department of Treasury. First, ARPA requires program and performance reporting that promotes public awareness, accountability, and monitor compliance for eligibility. Secondly, large recipients must publish a detailed recovery plan each year so the public is aware of how funds are being used and outcomes are being achieved. Thirdly, ARPA requires reporting procedures that includes consideration for CARES Act and other COVID relief funding. And finally, ARPA includes provisions that prioritize equity, economically distressed areas, community empowerment, encourages strong labor practices, and evidence-based interventions. Over the past year, we've been able to work with communities across the nation to help them address their ARPA program, meet their ARPA needs, and address their challenges. Throughout this experience, we've identified 8 areas of ARPA challenges. Number 1, communities are overwhelmed with the sheer number of ideas, requests, and even demands for how to spend ARPA funds. Number 2, the ARPA program requires thorough oversight and management to instill integrity, transparency, and accountability to meet the expectations of the community and taxpayers. Number 3, ARPA offers a unique opportunity for bold community projects. However, ARPA funding must be used only on eligible activities. Number 4, ARPA is intended to augment other COVID-19 funding initiatives such as CARES Act, FEMA, and other federal funding sources. Duplication of benefits will result in the deobligation of funds. Number 5, large funding will create additional burdens on staff that are already overwhelmed from COVID-19 hardships. Number 6, communities must be able to actively track and report on ARPA funding progress in order to ensure the timely and accurate documentation of ARPA expenditures. Number 7, communities face the potential loss of funding for not properly accounting for the ARPA dollars spent. And number 8, communities also risk the possibility of clawback or deobligation of funds for not adhering to U.S. Treasury requirements. Now a brief overview about the Odysseus Enterprise System. The Odysseus Enterprise System provides a complete platform of independent but integrated web-based tools that are designed to alleviate the burden on governments and public sector professionals. Odysseus was designed by disaster management experts to serve as a comprehensive program management platform to not only prepare for disaster, but also to efficiently manage recovery and provide key tenets for building a resilient community for tomorrow. There are 5 components of the Odysseus Enterprise System: the grant management tool, the knowledge management system, the compliance and performance metrics, the assessment and analysis system, and the computer-based training system. Today we're going to highlight a little bit specifically the grant management tool, which serves as a ready-to-use or customized grant management system to track, administer, and report funding on a wide variety of different programs, to include the American Rescue Plan Act. The Odysseus Grant Management Tool provides a host of customizable functionality that can be categorized into 7 broad areas. The GMT offers real-time tracking and reporting of grant funds to assist in expediting recovery and maximizing funding. The GMT allows for transparency and accountability through personalized dashboard reports to help guide the execution and management of ARPA funding allocations. The GMT provides easy-to-interpret data reporting and graphic analytics to help identify resource needs and help gauge the progress of ARPA expenditures. The Odysseus GMT is compatible with all of the leading financial and project management software programs and can be integrated with several federal grant management systems and even your organization's existing financial management system. The Odysseus GMT goes beyond ARPA and allows for tracking of other COVID-19 relief funds to include the CARES Act, FEMA, HUD, CDBG, and many other disaster assistance programs. The GMT provides automated notifications and simplified workflows to ensure compliance with federal regulatory requirements and program guidance. The Odysseus GMT offers standard yet flexible design, allows you to modify workflows to adhere to your organization's processes and procedures. Now over to Tim to give you a demo of the Odysseus Grant Management Tool.
Let's take a look at some of the features of the grant management system, or what we call the GMT. Specifically, how it helps you manage the ARPA program requirements from inception to closeout to help you avoid any pitfalls that would compromise your ARPA success. As you can see from our real-time tracking area, you can see the ARPA dashboard here. This is really an at-a-glance view of your overall ARPA picture for your organization. Kind of a condensed version of real-time data on all of your grants and related activities. You can see that it's interactive. I can hover over a graphic, for example, to see details. I can include or not include certain things. I can also scroll down to see what ARPA projects we have going on. And within all the reports in the system, you can simply click on the pencil on the left side to edit and click anywhere in the row to open it up. All of our reports also have an export feature that you can export to Excel and immediately work with your data outside the system if that's what you wish to do. As for transparency, we work closely with your team to customize the personal GMT dashboards and allow for transparency that helps guide the execution and management of ARPA funding allocations. For the analytics and reporting, just kind of a quick view here of the ARPA activities window. Kind of shows you all the ARPA activities throughout the GMT and reports a view of your grant portfolio that can be exportable instantly, again, to an Excel spreadsheet. All you need to do that is click the export button, and you can see it downloads immediately to my system. If you wanted to add an ARPA activity, you would simply click the green button to add it. And again, click a pencil to edit any of these rows. Click on the row just to view it if you like. In our reporting, you can see that we have the ability here within any screen on the system to sort and filter. And we can, for example, create filters here. We might want to create a filter in this report just to show only grants that contain the word ARPA. And it could be any word that you wanted to look for there. And once I have this list, I can simply click Save as a Report, and then it would show up in my reports list here, so that when I come back into the system, I can view that same report again just by simply clicking here. And it brings me right back to where I had my previous session stored that report. You can also customize any of these reports in the system by adding or taking away different columns. And this pretty much shows you most of the fields in the system that you can customize your report to. As for compatibility and integration, we utilize industry standard data formats, so your files from external sources, such as Microsoft Office Suite, can be easily imported and exported to the GMT. We integrate the GMT with your existing systems, such as your ERP system, using standard, industry standard application integration methods. You can also see within our system that it has the ability to track all types of funding. So for example, here, this shows that the system tracks public assistance, HMGP, HUD, federal highway, and other funds. So it could be basically any funding source that you might want to track here. So it goes much further beyond ARPA to track even other COVID-19 relief funds, such as the CARES Act, FEMA, and again, we showed here the HUD and CDBG. As for compliance and notification, the system has some really amazing notification abilities. So if we go over here, for example, to a main menu or main dashboard, we can see that we can report on period of performance. You can be warned that a grant is coming up on its end of its period of performance date, so that you could get email alerts and system dashboard here that shows you where you are in those days remaining. This example is a lot of test data that's really old, so it's got some pretty bad dates, but you can see they're in red, so you can immediately go look at that and take a look at changing or asking for a time extension, for example. So the ARPA program really demands that you have various plans, like a management plan and a spend plan, for example. And with our KMS, it's ideal for creating and managing the plans. They're referenced within the GMT for historical reference, say 5 years down the road, when the Treasury Department threatens to deobligate or claw back if your ducks are not in a row. And just kind of a quick note that our flexible design really gives you the ability to customize this to your organization's branding guide and allows you to modify workflows that mirror your internal processes. So for example, if we wanted to take a look deep into an ARPA activity or a project, we can simply click on these. For example, let's search for an ARPA related project. Here's one that is a housing assistance program. And as it's bringing up, you can see that it tells me all the details about that project and anything related to the timeline, what the percentage complete is, what phase it's in, the trend. Then at the lower portion of any open screen where we're looking at details of a project or activity, we have the ability to view all the tasks related to the project or activity, any ARPA activities, any grants related to this project. Then we can see issues. If there's any issues going on with the project and any tasks related to the project, you'll see those here. And contracts and documents. So let's take a look real quick. We can see if we dive into an issue. I want to show you one of the features here that shows how our system is really developed to model a Microsoft project type of workflow. So as you can see, this project or this issue, sorry, is a risk. So as we're looking through this, we can detail and find out what's going on with this. This issue that's at risk will flow up. The risk status will flow up to the task that's related to this risk, which is this one. We can simply click on that to open that task. And now we see, oh, this task is at risk. If I highlight over it, it says there's an active risk issue. So again, complying with good PMI standards for project management, we designed the system so that if you're, for example, working in Microsoft Project and you wanted to export everything into this system, you can do that easily. And all of your statuses and everything would flow up into this system. So then now your entire organization has a great view to everything about this project. And again, just like we talked about before, a sub-menu here gives us any issues related to this task and then documents. So now we talk about the flexibility. Again, it's designed and customized to your organization's branding guide, allows you to modify workflows that mirror your internal processes. Now at that, I think I'll give this back to Dan.
Thank you, Tim. What Tim presented was the Odysseus Grant Management Tool. As we presented earlier, there are 4 other components of the Odysseus Enterprise System. The Knowledge Management System is the backbone of the Odysseus Enterprise System and allows users to develop, share, and maintain their programs, plans, policies, and guidance. Our customers are using the KMS to facilitate the collaborative development of their ARPA strategic plans, facilitate the regular update of these plans, and document and record the maintenance and improvement of these plans as required by the Department of Treasury. The Compliance and Performance Metric System offers users data-driven assessments to systematically evaluate the compliance and performance of their ARPA programs and to measure their progress with ARPA projects. The Assessment and Analysis System allows users to generate customized assessments that can be used to evaluate and track the performance and progress of community-driven programs and initiatives. Many of our customers are using the AAS to address the ARPA requirements of community equity and community empowerment. Finally, the computer-based training module of the Odysseus Enterprise System offers ready-to-use or customized virtual trainings and courses to facilitate knowledge transfer and retention. Our customers have used the Odysseus CBT to develop ARPA trainings to increase the level of familiarity of the ARPA program, as well as developing short courses that are specific to their community's ARPA objectives.
Thanks, Dan. Folks, we understand that your data and privacy are essential. Our platform is provided as a hosted service. It's on AWS, utilizing the Flexential security platform with encrypted data, audit logs, daily backups, single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, and disaster recovery plans to keep your data safe. Rest assured, your data is secure with us.
Thanks, Tim. The innovation and invention of the Odysseus Enterprise System is a result of a culmination of expertise and experience. We have leveraged our over 2 decades of experience supporting over 120 disasters to develop a standard yet flexible platform to deliver an industry-best and evidence-based solution to disaster management. Thank you for attending today's webinar. If you have any questions or would like your own demonstration of the system, please contact us at